Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be trying out a whole bunch of the makeup that I purchased in the Sephora VIB Rouge sale or just Rouge sale, depending on what level you guys are at. Like I said, this part of my makeup, so my foundation and my concealer is already done. I did that in a previous video that should already be up. I will link it down below if you guys are interested in seeing that. For that video, I used the Urban Decay Stay Naked weightless liquid foundation and the Stay Naked correcting concealer. So like I said, if you guys are interested in seeing that, I will put the video down below so you guys can find it. So that is the point at which I left off. So we're just going to pick up straight from there. Also, if you're interested in where I got the products that I'm using in this video, I will have another video up that will be like showing you guys all of the products. So the first thing that I'm going to do is set the face that I've got going, and I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in Pound Cake. I'm so happy I was finally able to get my hands on this. They always had like the product in the store, but it was never in the shade that I wanted. I knew that this was the one I wanted, so I'm just picking some of that up on my beauty blender and just popping it in. It does smell a little perfumey, which is not the most ideal thing. Like, I'm not a big, oh god, I'm doing a really bad job blending this out. I'm not very big on floral scents, but it's not super heavy. It's not really overwhelming, so that's kind of okay, I guess. So my face is kind of already set because I've been sitting here under like hot lights and like filming for a little while, but I just wanted to have that. One thing I'm not a big fan of with this is it does have like this, like, I don't know, hopefully you guys can even see it. This camera doesn't like to focus. We'll focus more back here. So it's got like this like mesh layer on top rather than like how the Laura Mercier one has like plastic and then just holes through it, so it's a little easier to get out. This one is a little bit tricky to get out. But one thing that makes me really happy is that this lid will only lock in place once it's fully like squared to itself, which is nice because there is nothing that drives me more nuts than when a product ends up looking like this because it does not lock into place. I'm just saying. So next thing we're going to do is just quickly do our brows. So I got the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Now I already had this one in a darker shade. I got the shade 2.5, which is for like warm blonde or something like that, which works for me a lot better. I just found that with some of the ones that I was using, particularly the other Benefit one, my brows were starting to get real dark looking, which I know was on trend for a while, and it may still be, but I don't know. I don't hate my eyebrows by any stretch, but I'm also not like obsessed with them. So for me, like, I don't want, when I do my makeup, the focus to be on my eyebrows, if that makes any sense. Like, I would rather it be on my eyes or on my lips or something else, like anything else. Eyebrows are kind of just on your face. If you didn't have them, you would look like a weirdo. That's my opinion of eyebrows. I know that they serve a purpose, like they catch sweat and stuff from going in your eye, and that's all good and fine, but again, I have neither a love nor a hate relationship with my eyebrows. They're kind of just there. The only thing that I will say that I got really lucky is that because I was so paranoid about other people touching my face, I never got my eyebrows like professionally tweezed. So I never went through that phase of having like really thinned out eyebrows. That was very on trend for a long time. So when it came back in to have like thicker, fuller, natural eyebrows, I was kind of already there just because I've never had my eyebrows done. I kind of just handle them myself. Worked out in my favor for once in my life. Next thing we're going to do, we are going to bronze the face. Now, this is not a new bronzing powder. I didn't get a new bronzing powder in this haul, so I figured I would just use one that I haven't used in a while. So I'm just using the Too Faced, what is this even called? Love Heart? Sweetheart Bronzer. Okay, so it's got like the two shades in it, so I'm just going to kind of use that just to warm my face up a little bit. It's so funny. Right before I came on here, I was watching a Try Guys video. I don't know if you guys watch them at all. I really like the ones where like they're like, oh, we'll walk around in heels for a whole night and just see how girls do it and stuff like that, because I am very well known for like where I went to university. If you were not in like a cute little dress with heels on, you were underdressed when you went out. That was just the way it is. If you wore like jeans and a cute top, you were considered underdressed. So I got really used to wearing heels in my late teens, early 20s. And then I moved home, and where I live is not like that at all. I would go out in heels and everyone would be like, oh, what's the occasion? Like, why are you so fancy? This and that. Like, it was just a very, very different vibe when I came home. So I have a ton of heels, but I don't wear them a lot. But like, I will be well known as like that girl that like, especially at weddings, if I commit to a pair of heels, like by the end of the time, a lot of people will take their heels off. And no, nothing against any of those people that do that. I get it. Heels can be very, very uncomfortable, but I actually really enjoy wearing them. I find that I have fallen arches, so it kind of forces an arch in my foot and they're very comfortable for me. So 9 times out of 10 at a wedding, I will be the last, if not the only person still wearing their heels at the end of the night. I feel like I put so much bronzer on. Whatever. We'll call that done. Again, I did not pick up any new blushes. So for blush, again, we're going to go with one that I haven't used in a while. We're going to use this Too Faced Fruit Cocktail Blush Duo. This is in strawberry, so it's like the really bright pink. I just kind of wanted to see how bright it was because I haven't used it in a really long time. I am kind of going to pick up a little bit of both because I don't mind having a bit of shimmer in my blush. That's really pretty. I'm also a very, very subtle blush wearer. I don't wear a ton of it. I don't know why. I've always been that way. I think I overdid it as like a child when I was like playing with blush a lot. I would just like put it like right on your cheek, and at that point I don't think you knew that like you should start here and like carry it up a little bit where your cheeks actually blush. I think I just had like a ball of it right here and it just looked really, really sketchy. So I think I'm like turned myself off blush. The smell of this is kind of making me a little nauseous. It's just like a very, very, very fake strawberry scent, which is exactly what you would expect it to be, but it's throwing me off a little bit. For highlighter. Okay. I'm very torn. I'm debating between using my NARS, this is the Copacabana, the multiple, or my Anastasia Beverly Hills Perler Liquid Glow, and then I'm going to go over top of it with a Becca one. So what I think I'm going to do is use a little bit of this kind of like on my nose and in my cupid's bow, maybe take a little bit of this on my cheekbones where I don't like to use the stick as much, and then I'll go over all of it with that powder. That way I'm getting a little bit of everything. Whoa. That is super shiny. I ain't mad about it, but holy crap. I just find that like when it's videos like this where it's stuff that I have just purchased, I like to also make sure that I'm using like older products that like I'm not sure how I feel about them anymore, or like I don't remember ever how I felt about them. So I'm just taking a little bit of this. I'm just taking like a stippling kind of brush, and I'm just going to, oopsies, overdo it. Oh, way overdo it. Oh my. I picked up more of that than I expected to. That's okay. We're going to go over it with a powder in a minute, and it'll all maybe hopefully blend out. I also put very, very little of that on my hand before, and like there's still half of it there, and this stuff is very, very, very glowy, we'll say. Like, yeah, a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to pick up my... This is also my favorite highlighter brush of all time. This is a Natasha Denona 16 brush. It is super expensive, but like, it's just like the coolest brush shape. I love it. I like to be glowy. This is a Champagne Pop, by the way. I didn't mention it. Holy nose glow. So that Copacabana, much shinier than the, well, I'm very glowy. We'll just say that. All right, enough of all the old stuff. Let's get into some new stuff. This is not new though. So first I'm just going to use my Tarte Painterly Paint Pot. It's my favorite, it's my go-to, and it's kind of like, I know how this works with all of my favorite shadows, so it's a really, really easy way for me to tell like how new shadows compare to old shadows. So for the main part of our look, we're going to be using this MAC Desert Lightning palette, just because it's got like the most of the colors in it. But I also have these 3 Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foil finger paint palettes, that we also might get into for like a little glitter and sheen. I just don't know really where I'm going today. I think it's going to be more neutral than anything. Ooh. These are sensitive. I like dug the plastic in and it looks like it picked up a lot of powder, but that's fine. I'll just put it back on and pretend nothing happened. Also, are these big enough to sit? Yes. I use like a laundry rack to like set my filming up on, and so there's like it's a rack, you know? So like these are literally the perfect size that I could set them in between two rungs and they didn't fall through. Makes me really happy. I really need to clean my brushes also as a side note. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's take this top color. This is Desert Lightning. It's a matte color. I'm just going to put that like all over my lid just as like a base. It'll kind of also set my paint pot, which I totally forgot that I am supposed to do, and I normally don't do it, but I'll do it today because why not? This color is very, very close to like my natural eyelid color, so the fact that it's not standing out a ton is not really throwing me for much because it's what I expected. Let's do this kind of purpley color. This is in Marzipan. Yeah, Marzipan. I'm going to take some of that. It's a really pretty color. This is a very cool tone palette, which I'm not very used to. I use a lot more warm tones more often. I'm just going to kind of blend that up into my crease a bit. Again, this is a very, very soft color, so it's not showing up the greatest, to be honest. I find that MAC palettes are so hit and miss. Like, some of their palettes are freaking awesome, and then you get other palettes that come out in limited edition collections that just fall completely short of like their normal eyeshadows, if that makes sense. And then also, what is on my arm? Some of their like regular shadows, like I would stand by MAC like Dazzle shadows or Velux Pearl shadows, or they have those like I can't remember what they're called. I'm just gonna grab one so I can tell you guys. Extra Dimension eyeshadows. These are freaking phenomenal. But like honestly, like some of their matte shadows are falling short to me now that I've been introduced to other brands. Like Natasha Denona matte shadows are freaking awesome. Like so good. That I find that my MAC ones that I used to love are just kind of like falling flat now. So because there's only a couple matte shades in this, and I do want like an in-between transition before I go from like this into that, we're gonna use one of these shimmer shades to kind of build the crease a little bit. So let's go in with this one. This is Frost and Deception. I'm just gonna kind of try and build up in the crease a bit. I just realized I'm totally covering you guys. You can't even see what I'm doing. I mean, I can see some stuff happening, but it is very, very subtle, I will say. I feel like this is one of those like really subtle eyeshadow look palettes. Like if you're looking for a bolder look, this is not the palette to go with by any way, shape, or form. And it's not because I don't know if it's because like the shadows aren't performing or just that's the way that the shades are, is that they are more subtle. But I don't know. So far I'm kind of like meh about it. So I am going to take this color here. This is in Brun, which I've actually had before. This is one of their like older colors. So it's not limited to this palette. I feel like Deception is also not new. I don't remember though. And I'm just going to put a bit of that in. We're definitely going to have to get into some of those foiled finger paint things from Tarte because this is just not doing it for me. I didn't swatch this palette when I did my haul. I wonder how they swatched, to be completely honest. I mean, like, they look like they swatch pretty okay, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing it right, or because my brushes are dirty, they've got too much, like, of other colors on them from before, which is quite possible. I need to clean my brushes pretty badly. Okay, so I'm going to kind of, like, is that Carbon? Is it the Beat? Okay, so they put like this like blacky gray color in here that almost looks exactly like MAC Carbon, but obviously is not. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that. I just want to start to see what that does. Oh, that one's good. I picked up very, very little of it, and I still got like a fair amount of like color payoff. That's kind of nice. I am gonna like blend it a little bit more in 2 seconds. I just wanna keep my eyes even. Okay. Just gonna take this, like, this brush is clean, by the way. I very rarely ever use it, so I just use it to blend. That looks okay. I still think it needs a little something something, so we're gonna take, which color am I looking for? We're gonna go with this color. Okay, so this is from the dropping things on the floor. I'll put those down there. That's fine. This is from the Lunar palette, so I'm going to use this color up here. This is Tidal, I assume. Here's my question. Is this Moonrise and this is Tidal, or is this Moonrise and this is Tidal? I don't really know. The way it shows on them. And now these are finger paint, so this is where it's going to get a little tricky, because I do kind of want this like on my outer corner and up in my crease. Screw it. It ended up being like an all over the outside kind of color. I don't know how these would go on with a brush, to be completely honest, because they do say finger foils. Let's try it though. In about 2 seconds, I'm going to pick up a different one and I'm going to try and do it with a brush and sort of see what happens. It's a very subtle eye look, and I wasn't intending on going that way, but I kind of like it now that I have it. I find that I haven't been doing subtle eye looks enough lately. I've been more doing like a bold eye and then like a subtle lip. So maybe today we'll do kind of like the opposite effect. What was I looking for? I'm just going to use like a flat brush that I think will be the best at, like, this is a small shader brush. I just think it'll be the best at picking up the color I'm intending on going for. So we're going to take this color here, which is in Bimini. And I'm just going to see if it picks up on the brush. Not really. No, it doesn't. So these are definitely meant to go on with your finger. But I want that more of an inner corner color. What other color do I have that I could use? Okay, we're going to go back into the MAC palette just for something in between that color and, well, you know what? Let's be fun. Let's use this kind of like minty silvery color. This is the color that I bought the palette kind of mostly for. Whoa, that is pretty. So I just kind of, I like it because it added a little pop, but it kept the eye still very, very subtle. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is go back to that color that I had just had, and we're going to put that kind of in the inner corner. I'm just going to pick it up with my pinky finger because it's the smallest finger. These went so well on my hand and stuff like that. Now I'm just struggling with them. Oh, there we go. So yeah, these definitely need your finger to be applied. With any success anyway. Okay, so that's going to be the eye for today. It's okay. It's not as like amazing as I think I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. We're going to put on, I'm going to like tight line. This is my Fenty Fly Liner. I'm going to try and tight line my upper lash line, and then we're going to use one of these two Urban Decay ones to do the lower lash line. I'm not sure yet which one, so give me a minute. I'm going to go and do this not on camera because it stresses me out, and then I'll come back and I will continue on with this look. Alright, so I'm back. I have successfully lined my eyes, which is weird because normally I struggle like crazy. Like one eye will go perfect, and then when I go to do the other eye, I do it too fat, and then I try and fix the other eye and like match it, and then that one gets screwed up. But we're good. Everything's good. So we're going to use one of these underneath. I'm just trying to decide which one. Let's do this fun like rose gold one. This is in Wild Side because this is the one that I wanted the most. Oh yeah. So I just put that in my waterline. Oopsies. And I guess a little bit on my lash line, which is fine. So maybe now that I have that in my waterline, let's take the bit darker one. This one is in Love Drug, and I'm going to put that underneath. That way I can use both. looks pretty. Pretty, pretty. For a mascara, we are going to use the Tarte Big Ego one. This came in a BoxyCharm that I got recently, and I need to test it out anyway, so why not test it out right now? So it's got one of these, like, it almost looks like an 8. Do you guys see that? It, like, tapers in the middle. Okay, so that is that pretty much done. Last thing we have to do is pick a lip. Okay, so because my eye ended up a little bit more subtle than I intended to, I'm thinking of going with a bit of a bolder lip, but I want to use either one of these ones or one of these ones, and I don't know which one. So, and I don't want red. So let's narrow this down. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one. This is this MAC one in Hey Frenchie. And before I do that, I wasn't originally going to do this, but since the colors are actually pretty darned close, I'm actually going to line my lips with this Steve Laurent lip liner. This is, again, a product that I got in my BoxyCharm, so we're going to try this out as well. And this way it actually gives you guys a chance to see me use them on camera, because normally I just tell you that I use them, but you never actually get to see, like, how I feel about them in the moment. This is actually applying much better than I thought it would. Normally pencil liners like this kind of tend to tug at your lip line and you don't get a solid line, but that was actually pretty good. Now I'm just going to go over it with this. Definitely on my teeth. So I will say that in comparison to like the NARS ones, I think that these need 1 or 2 more swipes. Like they're better than the Powder Kiss ones in the sense that the Powder Kiss ones like have very little pigmentation. These ones are pigmented. They're very, very comfortable. Very, very, I gotta see how much it dries down, to be completely honest, because at this point it's just very, very slick. Sorry, I'm just doing the inner corners of my lips. At this point, it's very, very like slippery, slick, kind of more lip glossy than I thought it would have been. But it does take a couple swipes, whereas those NARS Audacious ones, it's like one and done kind of a deal. So basically, I'm going to set this right now. What kind of spray do I feel like using? Let's use whatever. Let's use the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 spray. We'll just use that to set. Okay, I'm getting really annoyed with mine. I don't know if mine's broken, but like every time I spray it and then like I'm just gonna kind of like tip it. Like I spray and then I tip and just a bunch of it dumps out in my hand or wherever. And it's really starting to annoy me. So I don't know if mine's just broken. It may be. But anyway, so I'm going to go on with my day with all of this on, and then I'll come back at the end of the day and kind of give you my opinions on all of these. I know I kind of gave you little bits and pieces here and throughout, but I think that the true test is seeing like how it lasts throughout the day. So when I come back at the end of the day, we will talk about how this all went, what's still there, what's not there anymore, what has worn down, what I had to keep reapplying. I assume the lipstick is not going to wear super well. I am going to dinner with my parents tonight, and I bet you it will wear down during dinner, but we'll see. So thanks for watching, and I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you guys later tonight. Hey guys, so as you can probably tell, it is not even the same day. I got home yesterday after having all of that makeup on for the whole day, and we ended up like sitting on the couch and watching TV, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch. And by the time I got up, it was too late. All I wanted to do was take my makeup off and get to bed. And then I remembered this morning when I was editing some video that I had said I would come back at the end of the day and let you guys know how my makeup held up. And I didn't do that. So I will do that now. Basically, everything held up okay. I did notice a lot of like black fallout on, my cheeks and stuff like that. And I think that was from the mascara. But the highlighter held up all day long. I mean, I'm not surprised, it wasn't new anyway. The brow products were good. The eyeshadow looked the same. It was a little bit disappointing, as I said in the video, just because like it wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be. And I feel like I'm not going to be able to do as much with that palette as I thought initially that I maybe could. I'm trying to think of what else I even used yesterday that was new. That lipstick, right, the lipstick, it got very patchy, but that was because I was eating. But I did find too that it didn't relayer the nicest. Like, you know how sometimes when you relayer lipstick where it's doubled up, it gets a little crusty. I did notice that there was some of that. But initially I had said that it was very glossy. It did dry down a little bit. It was still nice and comfortable and had a little bit of moisture in it, but for the most part, it wasn't as wet as it was when I originally went on. But that lip liner, like normally when I put a lip liner on and then a lipstick over top and then I'm eating and drinking and that sort of a thing, the lip liner will hold to my lips so that even as the lipstick wears away, the liner will still be there. This was not the case. The liner wore just as much as the lipstick. I mean, it stayed like around the outside of my lips, but that's never a good look. Like when you, this is exactly the reason I don't only outline my lips, I fill them in with the liner as well. And that's just because as your lipstick wears, I think it looks really funny when you end up just with a line outside. And that was how I was walking around after dinner time. So that was kind of unfortunate. But for the most part, I was pretty happy with how everything worked that I tried out. So yeah, that's going to be that. So if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.